Well, hi you guys, welcome back to another episode of Eek Acres. In this episode I am going to be reviewing the Nightcat flat hammock, and this is how it comes. And I gotta tell you guys, I've already had this out of its pack, and this thing is quality. The bag is very quality that this comes in. Very nice zipper, very nice compression buckles, nice carrying handles on it. This thing is really nice. Now, the reason why I went ahead and I set this up beforehand is because I didn't want you guys to have to see me fumble with something I'm not used to setting up, and the instructions aren't as clear as they could be. So setting this up was a little bit of a learning curve, but it was pretty simple. I mean, everything shows you and tells you where it needs to go. And so I think anybody can set this up. Now, this flat hammock, the reason why they call it a flat hammock is you're supposed to be able to sleep flat as a cot instead of concave like a banana. It's supposed to keep you relatively flat. This weighs 7 pounds 14 ounces, so this is not something for backpacking. This would be something more for like car camping, unless you want to lug almost 8 pounds into the woods. Have at it. I would do it, but most people would not. So I'm gonna get this set up and I'm gonna show you guys what comes in this pouch. So we'll undo the cam buckles here, undo the bag, and right in on top are the instructions, and there's 9 steps in this manual for setting up this hammock. Inside you have 2 bags that have tent poles in here. One are aluminum poles for the body itself, and then 2 of these are for the cot bed to keep it straight. Then in this sack, it has for your awning, because this also has an awning, you will have 4 rolls of this strapping right here. There's your guide outlines for your awning. It also comes with 2 aluminum poles, 2 of these. And I gotta say, I've done a lot of sewing and I've made bags like this on my sewing machine over the years, you guys, and this is exceptional quality. Really thick and really super heavy. Now, this is a company that's based in Germany. And obviously they've got standards, because this thing is well made, very well made. I'm very impressed. You'll see that there's 4 strap rolls here. 2 are short, 2 are long. 2 are just straight straps. The other 2 have loops, and I'll show you what I mean. It has reflective material on it, and when you undo this, you'll see it's got a series of loops in these straps, a series of loops. This is the part that's going to go around the tree to connect the hammock body to, and the other 2 straps are for the base of the hammock that goes down to the base of the tree, and I will show you that. And then it comes with this heavy duty rain fly, and the camo on this thing, you guys, is awesome. When I had this set up and I came back up the trail from the house to demonstrate this blended in with the wood so well I barely could see it. And this thing is very well made, nice and thick, and the stitching is the best I've ever seen in tent material. This is the most well-made tent fabric that I've seen yet. And it also has a secondary hammock that goes underneath the hammock as a gear hammock, to have your gear underneath your sleeping hammock for like your shoes, a rain jacket, snacks, things like that. And then there is the hammock body itself. And the bottom is all rubberized, you guys. Very thick and very waterproof. This thing is really nice. So I'm gonna back you guys up and I'm gonna show you how it is you wanna set this up. And you want trees that are a good distance apart, probably roughly 10 feet apart at least. I would go with 12 if you could. So when you lay this out, you want to decide which side you want the door on, because there's a large B door that's on one side of the hammock. If you want it to be on this side, you want to make sure that your door is facing the way you want to get out. Otherwise, you got to turn it around if you want to exit out the other side. So what they recommend you do is just you tie this around a tree and you leave a loop so you can attach the carabiner of the hammock to it. Okay, guys, I had to find 2 trees that were just the right distance apart. Now that I got the hammock attached at each tree on either side, I'm going to go ahead and put in the tent poles on the body of it. I've got 2 poles here that are black, and they're shot corded. And what you do is In the body of the tent, the bottom right here is a sleeve. And what you do is you fish these through the sleeve. And this sleeve is heavy duty, you guys, very heavy duty. You fish that all the way through. And then after you fish it all the way through this sleeve, you will see on this buckle right here that there is a place to slip the end of this pole right in. So it fits in there like that. And you do the same thing on the other side. Fit it in just like that. So that's how it's going to look on both sides. And that's what keeps that pole straight in the body of the hammock. And then these buckles, you'll see that go this way, what that does once it's installed. I'm doing the same thing on this side. You find the pocket underneath, slide the pole all the way through, and then on this side you take this end of this strap, put it over the end of the pole like that, and then on this end you do the same thing and you put it in a pocket. So there's a pocket on both sides, and that keeps that floor of the hammock stretched out. You got this sleeve right here, this mesh sleeve. You're going to fish it through both sleeves all the way through, and then on the other side you're going to see this strap that's got a grommet in it. You put the tent pole in the end of that grommet, and that's what holds the other end, and then you stretch this side, the grommet right there on this strap, just like that. The second two straps that are left that are longer are so you can go down around the tree, and you want to go around the tree twice, and then it comes up to these buckles that you run it into, and this is so you can cinch the thing down tight on both sides. Cinch it right down tight, just like that. And this is what gives the hammock stability. And now I'm going to take this roll and do the same thing down at the other end. And these are self-locking buckles. So when you pull it tight, it cinches it right up. Just like that. You have this secondary hammock that hangs underneath. And so this hammock underneath the main sleeping hammock goes right into these corner clips, and they just snap into place, and we'll go down and do it on the other end. Clip it here, going on the other corner, and clip it right there. Now you've got your gear hammock underneath to store shoes, a rain jacket, extra blanket, anything that you'll be taking camping with you. There, now you guys can see the screen body of this hammock, and it's got this nice oversized D-door. And I forgot to mention that this hammock has clips to clip the body to the tent poles. I forgot that. So I'll clip these real quick right now. Put those on all four poles. Just like that. The zipper works very nice. And there is the tent body, and I'll bring you guys in closer so you can look. Now inside this hammock tent body, you can see that you've got a hook right here at this end, and you've got one down here at the other end to hang a small lantern, a flashlight, a headlamp, anything that you need to hang from the top. And then here on the side, on the inside, is a pocket right here to put accessories like keys, wallet, small jackknife, small flashlight, whatever. And then here on the opposite end, on the opposite side, is a secondary pocket to put whatever you may need in there. And then it also has two side handles right here on the inside. Two side handles. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put the fly on this, and I'm going to show you guys what the fly looks like. And boy, these zippers work exceptionally well. This thing, you guys, is very well made. I am super impressed with this thing. Now, when it comes to putting the fly on, you guys, you got to remember that one side has a door. It's the same way with the fly. You want to make sure that you have the fly put over this where the door is on the same side as the door to the hammock. And how you know that is because the logo is on the door side. As you can see right here on the grommet part of where the hammock pole comes down, there's this little clip. Well, the other end to it is right here. And this is where you'll go around and attach the fly at all 4 points around the hammock. It has it to where you can pull it straight out like this. And what you want to do is you want to choose whichever loop in this strap that you can attach this to. Put the strap right through and then click it, and then you can cinch it up. And this is also designed to where you can close it off. It's got these little ferrules right here to where you can close it off. We will do the same thing on the other end, and that's what's nice about these straps having loops in them, is to where if this won't reach to put around a tree, if the tree is close enough, you can just strap it right to the strap itself. And again, this can be closed off by fishing this ferrule right through the opposite loop on the other side. Now, the reason why they give you 2 stakes and 2 guy out lines is because when you open up the fly, and it does have a Velcro storm flap all the way up. See that? A nice Velcro storm flap. When you unzip both sides on this hammock, you can roll this up, and it has ferrules up here to attach it, but they give you the guy out lines so that way you can stake this out as an awning. Now, they do not include awning poles, but they recommend that you use your hiking trekking poles or just get some long sticks out of the woods and attach it here at the corners, because they got these little loops right here on the corners, and you just create 2 poles and then you run your guy lines out, and now you've got an awning over your hammock. And I like a hammock to be a little higher, so when I go to step into it, I don't feel like I'm just dragging on the ground. So I'll take my slippers off, and I'll go ahead and get inside this thing and see what I think. This is nice, you guys, and I can sit up inside, so it's really nice. Zipper works good to close it off while I'm inside, and yeah, this is nice. This is really nice. I like this a lot. This thing doesn't bend like a typical hammock does. This thing stretches pretty tight, and it really gives you the sensation that you're sleeping on a cot, and I like that a lot better. The only thing I don't like is it can rock. Now, those straps that go down to the trees are supposed to counteract that problem and stabilize it, but I think what would stabilize it better is if you had guy lines coming off the bottom right here where the tent poles are, or basically right off the bottom of the tent body itself, and stake it to the ground. Now you can't do this at all. It wouldn't be able to do that with it attached to the ground. That's the one thing that I would change. We'll go inside. I'll kick my slippers off, and we will check this out. This thing is cool. There we go. I got all kinds of room, you guys, all kinds of ventilation. And I like it that it's got this interior, like tub floor half wall right here. So that way when the fly goes down behind it, you're not looking out at to the spooky ground at night. You're not able to see out of this thing except straight out that end and straight out this end behind me. And like I said, those can be closed off. So this makes it really, really nice. I'll show you the other end and how far my feet are. I'm 6 foot tall, and there's all kinds of room in here. There's enough room in here to sit up in this hammock and everything. So yeah, I could sleep good in this thing, you guys. And it is very stable, and it is like a cot. I mean, I don't feel like I'm shaped like a banana at all. See how flat I'm laying? just flat like I'm in a bed. Boy, this thing is cool. Really nice oversized mosquito mesh here for gazing out, like if you had the tarp stretched out as an awning. This thing is awesome, you guys. Plenty of room to put in a large sleeping bag in here, have a pillow, bring in maybe a backpack with you, a small day pack, and you could even put it out there on the front, just like out here on the front underneath the fly, so you've even got more storage. And don't forget there's the hammock underneath this hammock. So you could store your gear either outside or inside or however you want, or hang it in a tree. But yeah, you guys, this thing's cool. And I'll tell you, with these extra hooks right here, one at this end and one at the other end, you could hang a lantern in here. This thing's pretty cool. I wanted to show you guys that the sewing on this thing is exceptional. I mean, just very, very good sewing. Everything is nice and straight. Look at the stitching on this thing. They did a fantastic job. I'm very, very picky when it comes to sewing on outdoor goods that are fabric. And I gotta say, you guys, everything is reinforced and the stitching is some of the best I've ever seen in anything that is made out of tent material. Just everywhere you look, the stitching is really, really top quality. And the fly on this thing, you guys, is phenomenal. Out of all the tents, and I know this is a hammock and not a tent, but it basically is a tent off the ground, let's be honest. And out of all the tents I've had, used, and owned throughout the years, the most thick quality fly I have ever seen on a tent. And not only is it heavy duty and very well made with nice zippers, but there's no way water is getting past this, you guys. I believe this thing is 100% waterproof. This thing is exceptional, and the stitching is really, really good. Really good, you guys. Man, I like this thing a lot. This thing is super, super cool. Let me step back and show you guys how well this thing camouflages in the outdoors. Look at that. Does that blend in with the woods or what? Let's do a walk around on this bad boy. This thing is cool, you guys. Super cool. I could go lower with these straps because the lower you go to the ground, the more stable this becomes, because this part supports to keep it up in the air, and the straps going down is what prevents it from wanting to do this. So if I went down further with those straps, it'd be even better. But then I think having guy lines coming off the corners to stabilize it would be even better. And with what they have included in this kit, you can do just that. But look at how this thing blends in. From a distance, you wouldn't be able to see this thing at all. It just blends right in with the woods like it belongs here. This thing is super cool. So you guys, the Nightcat Flat Hammock. Check it out. The link will be down below. This thing, you guys, I've checked the straps. I've checked the Cordura webbing. I've checked the grommets. I've checked all the different stitching on it, the mosquito mesh, the fly, all the hardware. This thing is a quality, well-made hammock. And the fact that the floor is rubberized underneath and that this fly is as heavy as it is, you would never get wet in this thing. I am convinced of that. This thing is the best one I've seen, and I like it a lot. And I highly recommend this outdoor hammock for the trail, car camping, or anywhere that you want to sleep in the great outdoors. This thing is awesome, you guys. I'll leave the links down below. Check it out, you guys. If you pick this up, you won't regret it. If you like hammock camping, you will love this one. Thanks for watching, you guys, and we'll see you again in the next one. Bye-bye.